Alright, let's dive into something that's been on my mind lately, and honestly, it's a story that deserves way more attention than it's getting. Puerto Rico has just started rationing water. Yes, you heard that right. In 2026, a place that's part of the United States is now officially rationing water. What makes this really interesting is that it's not just a sudden crisis, it's been brewing for a while. The island has been dealing with low water pressure and outages for over a year now, but this feels like a tipping point. Personally, I think this is a wake-up call not just for Puerto Rico, but for all of us. It's easy to think of water scarcity as a distant problem, something that happens in far-off deserts or drought-stricken regions, but this is happening in a U.S. territory. It's a stark reminder that climate change and infrastructure failures don't discriminate. Now, let's break this down a bit. The rationing is happening in the San Juan region, which is one of the most populated areas of the island. Thousands of people are now on a schedule for when they can use water. Imagine that, having to plan your day around when you can shower, cook, or even flush the toilet. What many people don't realize is that Puerto Rico's water system has been fragile for years. The infrastructure is aging, and the island's been hit hard by hurricanes and droughts. But here's the thing, this isn't just about pipes breaking or reservoirs drying up. It's about a systemic failure that's been ignored for too long. If you take a step back and think about it, this is a story of neglect, both locally and federally. Puerto Rico has been in a state of crisis for years, from Hurricane Maria to now this, and yet, the response always feels reactive, not proactive. One thing that immediately stands out is the timing of this. We're in 2026, and the world is supposed to be more advanced, more prepared. But here we are, watching a modern society struggle with something as basic as access to water. In my opinion, this raises a deeper question: how many other places are on the brink of similar crises? Puerto Rico might be the canary in the coal mine. What this really suggests is that we're not doing enough to future-proof our infrastructure, especially in vulnerable regions. And let's be real, Puerto Rico's situation isn't unique. From Cape Town to Chennai, cities around the world have faced water shortages. But when it happens in a place that's technically part of the wealthiest nation on earth, it's impossible to ignore. A detail I find fascinating is how this crisis is intertwined with politics and economics. Puerto Rico's debt crisis has been a massive burden, and it's hard not to wonder how much of that has diverted resources away from critical infrastructure. Personally, I think there's a dangerous cycle here. The island needs money to fix its problems, but its problems make it harder to attract investment. It's a catch-22 that's left people in a state of perpetual uncertainty. And let's not forget the human cost. Water rationing isn't just an inconvenience, it's a public health issue. Without reliable access to clean water, diseases can spread, and communities suffer. This isn't just about turning on a tap, it's about dignity and survival. If you ask me, the most frustrating part of this story is how preventable it feels. We've known for years that Puerto Rico's water system was in trouble, yet here we are. It's like watching a slow-motion car crash and not hitting the brakes. What this really highlights is the need for long-term thinking and investment in infrastructure, not just in Puerto Rico, but everywhere. Climate change isn't going away, and neither are the challenges it brings. So, what's the takeaway here? For me, it's this: we can't keep treating these crises as isolated incidents. They are symptoms of bigger, systemic issues that require global cooperation and local action. Puerto Rico's water rationing isn't just a local story, it's a warning for all of us. And honestly, I hope we're paying attention this time.